If you're an author or plan to be one, get excited because this podcast is for you. Book Marketing Mentors is the only podcast dedicated to helping you successfully market and sell your book. If you're ready for empowering conversations with successful marketing mavens, then grab a coffee or tea and listen in to your host, international best-selling author Susan Friedmann.
Okay, I give in. I know that it's time because so many of you told me that point blank. Susan, I want to hear your thoughts on book and author marketing. I admit that I am guilty. I've hidden behind my book marketing mentors guest for far too long. I agree. It's about time you heard more about my thought leadership in this area. Moving forward, the plan is this, that twice a month, I'll introduce a guest expert. That's the regular format of Book Marketing Mentors for the past 6 years. And believe it or not, I'm about to start our 7th year, which is really hard to believe. And then twice a month, you'll hear from me, yours truly. As much as this excites me, it also scares me. And that's okay, because like you, in order to stand out from the crowd, you need to take creative risks. So welcome to the new and improved and exciting format of Book Marketing Mentors, the weekly podcast where you learn proven strategies, tools, tips, and ideas from the master, which includes me, your host, Susan Friedmann, the author marketing mentor and influencer. The first topic I want to discuss is possibly the most important driver of anything that you do as an author, whether it's writing, promoting, marketing, and selling your book. If this driver isn't guiding you in the right direction, Houston, we have a problem. You've probably guessed that what I'm referring to is your mindset. According to Webster's dictionary, mindset is a way of thinking, an attitude, or an opinion, especially one that is habitual. A few months ago, I sent out a research survey asking authors what stood in the way of marketing and promoting their book. Interestingly, the responses I got fell into 4 categories, which are as follows. The first one, lack of money to market the book. Number 2, lack of time due to other pressing commitments such as family or a job, which they felt was their priority. 3, lack of marketing and sales experience. And finally, number 4, lack of confidence due to fears and insecurities. What I'd like to do over the next few weeks is to take each one of these stumbling blocks and crush them. That is, destroy them so that they no longer can stand in the way of you moving forward with your book and your author marketing. In other words, we're going to erase them completely from your list of excuses. Perhaps that could be the title of my next book. No more author marketing excuses. Let's move to that first stumbling block on the list, which is lack of money. I don't know about you, but I can possibly count on one hand how many of the thousands of people I know who would never admit to having enough money. Well, perhaps I do know a few. However, if you don't happen to fall into this super elite group and feel that you don't have the funds to do what you want when you want to do it, know that you're in good company, really good company, because there are hundreds, thousands, and possibly millions of others who share that same dilemma. Like most authorpreneurs, you probably don't have an endless stream of money, let alone a healthy trust fund to access to finance your business venture. Yes, you can always beg, borrow, and steal, none of which I recommend as a long-term financial strategy. Instead, your currency of choice comprises the skills you possess, namely time, energy, imagination, and all the creativity you can muster. There are multiple marketing strategies and tactics available for free, which should be music to your ears. However, if you're truly serious about marketing your book, you'll need to set aside a few $100s initially to pay for essential services such as website hosting and email marketing. As a rule of thumb, companies usually allocate between 5 to 10% of their budget to marketing opportunities. What I recommend is that when you make money selling your book, getting speaking, training, or coaching gigs, save a few dollars to put towards your ongoing marketing efforts. Start small, and as you grow, you can afford to invest more in your author marketing ventures. Oh, just as an aside, I often get asked, how long should you keep marketing your book? It's a great question, and let's take a few minutes to address this now. You've probably heard that each book you write and publish is like giving birth to a baby. And as they say, there's nothing like the first one. I recall so vividly when my first book came out, I was ecstatic. I wanted to shout about it from the rooftops. I was living in Cincinnati, Ohio at the time. I went to my local Barnes & Noble to make sure that they had the book in stock, which they did. I took the book off the shelf and positioned it back on the shelf with the cover facing forward for everyone to see. I'm not sure how long it stayed like that after I left the store, but it did give me enormous satisfaction. I walked away from the store with the thought that I wanted to find ways of selling my book in bulk versus in the onesies and twosies that the stores were likely to sell it. Amazon wasn't around at that time, but the same concept applies with them. This idea led me down a path where after several years I managed to sell 500,000, that's 500,000 copies of my book to one company. Now, my intuition is telling me that you want to know exactly how I did that. And I'm going to leave that story for another episode when I'll share some in-depth marketing strategies and tactics with you. What I will share is that I didn't stop marketing the book for well over 15 years. Getting back to the question of how long should you keep marketing your book, my question to you is, how long do you want your book to sell? Because that's how long you need to keep marketing it. Remember, chances are slim to none that your book's going to sell itself. Unless, of course, you've created an incredible word-of-mouth campaign and a team of foot soldiers to do all that work for you. But relying on others to sell your book isn't a sustainable long-term strategy. So my final words of wisdom on this for now is that the best person to market and sell your book is you. Why? Because no one else can possibly have the passion and excitement for your baby the way you do. You birthed this baby. You gave it life right from the beginning. From the day you conceived the idea, put the first word on a page, and then went through the whole gestation period, however long that was for you, right up to the day when you were able to physically hold your baby in your hands, that beautiful finished product. What an incredible feat. Each and every one of you is a champion for becoming a published author. However, as much as you thought that this was your final destination, I'm sorry to tell you that it's just the beginning. You see, now it's time to nurture your treasure, to feed and water it so that it grows up strong and healthy. That's your marketing. Everything you do to share your message with the world. In future episodes, I'll delve deeper into many different strategies and tactics that work. However, the next time we meet in a couple of weeks, I'll address the second stumbling block, and that is lack of time. Until then, I invite you to commit to investing 5 minutes minimum each day on a marketing activity that can help get your book in front of your target audience. So just to remind you of what I talked about at the beginning of this rant, your currency of choice comprises the skills you possess, namely time, energy, imagination, and all the creativity you can muster. If you're interested in brainstorming some marketing ideas with me, I invite you to go to brainstormwithsusan.com to schedule a 20-minute session with me. This is a quick roll-up-your-sleeves session where we'll put our heads together to come up with at least 3 ideas you can use to market your book. Again, that address is brainstormwithsusan.com. Until we meet again in a couple of weeks, here's wishing you much book and author marketing success.
The time is now to take action and finally build your book-selling empire. And the great news is that Susan is here to help you. Visit bookmarketingmentors.com and sign up for a free 15-minute book marketing strategy session with Susan. She'll help you discover your first steps to marketing and selling your book. Only those who take action are rewarded, so visit bookmarketingmentors.com, and we'll see you again next week.